So, hi guys, and welcome back to my journey, Bipolar and Me. So, last week was, I'm just writing last week off, to be honest. Um, my little Summer, she's been suffering with what I call migraines. They're really debilitating. They're not nice at all. They creep on and they creep out. But for 2 days, she'll be sick. She'll have a headache. She'll have a temperature. We're waiting to see the paediatrician about this. Unfortunately, they can't fit her in until the 14th of June. So we've been told just to carry on doing what we're doing, which is giving her paracetamol every 4 hours when the headaches start creeping in, continuing all through the headache, right until the last day. They last about a week. Like I say, they're not just bam, a really big headache. They creep. She'll come down and she'll go, "Mummy, my head's a bit sore today." Probably about a 1 or a 2. But by the afternoon, it can be an 8 or a 9. And she can lose her sight and her hearing. So that's very frightening for her. So my main concern last week was sorting out my Summer and making sure that I was trying to keep on top of the headache as much as possible. Unfortunately, she can't take ibuprofen because she's asthmatic and it affects her chest. Today is an exciting day. It's my Paige's 14th birthday. I'm so excited for her. She has done so well. Obviously, they've been back at school 3 weeks and they now have Easter holidays. So she's had a few friends over today as a little party. Now we're allowed the rule of 6. I did let all my neighbours know, because my neighbours are elderly and I respect my neighbours. They were here first. And so we try to keep the antics down to a minimum. They've just gone for a walk, so I thought I'd take the opportunity and come and say hello to all of you and do a quick video. So today I'm going to talk about my bipolar and what it means to me and how it affects me. So basically, I get waves of anxiety, and it's like my heart starts racing and I just feel intense emotions, and because I feel these intense emotions, my body tries to shut down because it doesn't know how to deal with them. So like I say, my medication does control my highs and my lows. They're nowhere near as bad as what they used to be, but I still do have them. So last week I managed really well. I didn't have what I call a meltdown, where I burst out into tears. I'm a complete and utter mess. I'm the worst person in the world. I'm a failure as a parent. I can't do nothing right. These are all things that run through my head when I'm having a low episode. When I'm having a high episode, I like them a little bit more, although they can be as dangerous as a low episode. So I'm excessively happy. I'll start dancing around and singing with the children, making a complete and utter tit of myself. Obviously that's okay, you can make a tit of yourself, but I tend to take it excessively, and I don't know when to stop. So 9 times out of 10, if we're playing something, it'll end up in an argument or a fight because like someone's thrown a piece across the board or something like that, because we just can't control our emotions. It can be quite funny, but again, you have goods to things and you have bads to things. So you have pros and cons. And yeah, there are, you know, lots of times where I feel like when I'm going to meetings at school, I really want to be in a high mood because I'm able to then give them the answers that they actually want. If I'm in a low mood, nothing else matters but me. And you know, I don't think of other people's feelings then when I'm in a low, because nothing can compare to what I'm actually feeling at that moment. Now I know that's not the case, and you know, sitting here on a fairly normal day, it's easy for me to say this type of thing, but obviously it's not easy to live with. You know, my children never know which mummy they're going to get. Are they going to get happy, excited mummy, or are they going to get mummy who all she does is cry? And which was why I went to the doctors and I said, look, I need some help. It was starting to affect my children's mental health. And, you know, we now think that maybe Paige, she's 14, maybe is showing early signs of bipolar, due to the fact that she has self-harmed. Now, self-harming is a difficult one for me because since my children have been born, I haven't self-harmed in a serious way. And when I mean serious, I mean I've not had to go to hospital because of the injuries I've inflicted on myself. Because of my children, I feel they do ground me a bit. And when I am low and I feel like I want to hurt myself, I have to tell myself I've got 4 beautiful girls that need their mummy, and no one can do their mummy better than their mummy. No one knows them like I do. So yeah, that's difficult. You know, knowing that my children are now suffering because of my behaviour in the past, when I was unmedicated. Medication for me was my last resort. And yes, I do take an antidepressant, an antipsychotic, and I also take heart medication, but that is for my panic attacks. I've tried lots of antidepressants in the past, and I think I must have tried everyone on the market, but I found one that actually worked for me. But unfortunately, one of the side effects was weight gain. Now, 2 of my medications, most common side effect is weight gain, and like you know guys, I've gone from a 6 to a 16, as I've stated that in previous videos. So yeah, basically, if I'm in a low mood, I won't leave my house, and if I do, it's because I have to, not because I want to or need to. So like school runs, and they'll be done with me in my pyjamas because I really don't care. And when I'm in a low and I don't care, and I do, I get the kids ready, I give them breakfast, you know, I make sure that they're all at school, and I drive the car to the school, I drop them off, and I drive back home again, and I get in bed as soon as I've dropped them off at school. That's me on a low. And I really, really don't like my lows because I feel useless, and I feel that I'm hurting my children. So that's why I went to the doctors and I said, no, I can't do this anymore. I need to stop having these lows. I need to stop feeling like I've failed as a mother, because my children will be the first to tell you that I am a brilliant mum. I will bend over backwards to please my children. If they want something, I'll magic it out of my bum. I really do. I want them to have the things I didn't have growing up. So they've all, my older two, they've got phones and they're quite up to date. And little Evie, she likes her iPad. So I make sure my children have what they want, and that can backfire sometimes. Especially when I turn around and say, no, you can't have that. Because they're not used to mummy saying no. That's a thing I really do struggle with. And I think that is due to my bipolar, that I have a problem saying no. But I've been taken advantage of by a lot of people, because I'm just too nice. I've paid for things for my friends that maybe I shouldn't have done in the past. I have an excessive spending habit. I can't help it. That is bipolar, and I know that's the bipolar. If I've got money, it's gone within 5 minutes. So, obviously I pay bills and stuff. I'm not completely useless. I make sure all the bills and stuff are paid, and I don't ever want to lose my house again, because yes, at one point I lost my house. That wasn't due to me being poorly though. That was due to a breakdown in my relationship, and my landlord didn't want a lady on benefits at the time, which I thought really, really was not a great thing. But, I ended up in a B&B with all 4 children, and it was a nightmare. And then, obviously, I decided that I wanted to get better. I didn't want to be in floods of tears all the time, not being able to manage. I went to the doctors and asked for help. I'm squinting a bit, guys, because it's a bit sunny today. But I thought we'd change the scenery a bit. I'm sitting in the garden, enjoying the sunshine. So basically, if I'm in a low and I can't leave the house now, then I have an issue. Because how do I get the kids to school and leave the house? So, when I say I don't like leaving my house, I do leave my house, but my car is also my safe place. So, I take Paige on her drive every evening, and it's nice because we get alone time, and she gets to tell me what's on her mind, and I get to tell her what's on my mind, and it's really, really good. We enjoy it. Summer wants to start doing walks, so we're going to start doing some walks more often. I watch movies with Evie. She's a movie buff. She likes her Disney Plus. When I can't leave the house, that's a bit of an issue. I sometimes have to rely on friends or other people to help me out then. I'm really lucky. I haven't felt like that since the beginning of lockdown last year. Lockdown had a different effect on us as a family, because I don't like going out. So it suited me down to the ground. Yeah, lock me in my house, that's fine, mate. However, shopping became an issue, because normally I take my carer with me when we go shopping, or I take a friend. You know, just somebody that can chill me out if I have a bit of a panic moment. Obviously, with lockdown, they were asking you to shop alone where you can. Now, I'm one of these people, I don't like using my bipolar as an excuse, and so I won't tell people that I'm struggling. So I tend to just go shopping. Now, when I get there, it's awful, especially if I'm not really feeling it. And I will come home and I would have forgotten loads of things, or I've picked up things that aren't relevant, or, you know, just generally things like that. But we manage. I like to, due to lockdown, at the moment I'm taking one of the older two girls with me, instead of a friend, because obviously that's not allowed. I don't like breaking rules. I struggle with that really badly. But yeah, we do get there. So guys, that's basically how my bipolar affects me. Like I say, don't like the lows, because I do. I feel useless. I feel like a failure. I feel like I'm failing my children, and I'm not. Like I say, my children will be the first to tell you I'm a fantastic mum, and I bend over backwards for them. But also, it's important for my children to know that sometimes mummy just needs some me time. Now, I used to get told this an awful lot by my sister. You need to have more me time. And I never used to understand that. And it's only been sort of the last couple of months where I've gone, actually, no, I need to sometimes have some time just for me. That's not me being horrible to my children. It's not me wanting to not be with my children. That's just because everybody needs time out for themselves. Like I say, I struggle with this because the moment I start thinking about me, the bipolar kicks in, and I start thinking that, no, because I'm thinking about me instead of my children, that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, it's not a bad thing not to think about your children 24 hours, 7 days a week. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's okay to take some time for yourself. But like I say, that is something I do really badly struggle with. So yeah. What else can I tell you about my bipolar that would be interesting for you all to know? I would say probably the scariest thing about learning that I had bipolar was knowing that maybe that would affect my children, and maybe one of them would have it. I do think Paige is showing early signs of bipolar. Obviously, the children's mental health team are different to the adults' mental health team, and they don't work the same way. So adults, the first thing they would do is give you an antidepressant, and then an antipsychotic, whereas with the children, they don't want to do that. They don't want to start them on medication early, or diagnose them and it not be that. It can be normal teen behaviour, although from what I see of Paige, it's not normal behaviour. A couple of weeks ago, she told me she thought she could fly. That's not normal. So I have to then, if she's in a moment like that, I then have to safeguard her, and I'm like, no, I have to be with you. I can't leave you alone, because I know that you'll open your window and you'll attempt to fly, and then we'll end up with injuries. So we don't, when she's feeling like that, and vice versa when I feel like that, because I do have moments where I get what she means, and you feel invincible, but you're not. You're human. So yeah, I normally, we won't leave each other's sides if we're feeling like that. You know, I keep her at home. You know, if she is in school, she has a safety plan in place, so that she has to be walked into the school building and handed off to a teacher, and at the end of the day I'll have to collect her from said teacher. So we're trying to put everything in place, because obviously medication at 14 is probably not a good idea. We're okay with the natural hormones that we produce anyway, so I don't mind boosting them by giving her melatonin, because we make that naturally anyway. It's just that she doesn't make very much of it, so we do. That's made, like I say, a dramatic difference. She's now sleeping better, she's eating better, so that's a good thing. These are all good things that have happened in the last sort of couple of weeks. But yeah, so I've been chatting away for about 20 minutes now, guys, so I'm gonna love you and leave you all. Any questions, please hit me up. I'm quite happy to answer them. And bye.